Bam. Alright, so the third take at this. This is day 3 and 4 compiled together into one. We gotta keep it under 10 minutes for upload purposes and avoiding technical difficulties. So, Yesterday
morning, woke up, Rapid City, South Dakota, drove to Mount Rushmore. After Mount Rushmore, drove to Crazy Horse. After Crazy Horse, drove to Custer. After Custer, drove to Jewel Cave. After Jewel Cave, drove back to Rapid City via an absolutely incredible road. Rewind. Back to Mount Rushmore. Your thoughts?
Yes, Mount Rushmore, you could taste, like, a national pride, like, an American sort of pride in the air there. Like, it's a very, like, well-constructed monument to appeal to the heartstrings of the American people. Yes, it's an amazing feat, and yeah, from an art perspective, it's pretty damn incredible.
It's a big, amazing sculpture, but it's of 4 guys that have absolutely no significance on my life or on my Canadian existence. So the feeling of seeing American families, young couples with kids, and high school groups that were on tour buses and things, like, just doing the whole, like, they find their state flag and they do the whole, like, whatever state credo they have, and I swear I heard one guy singing, like, saying, like, I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the Republic whole speech, and the whole thing is just overwhelming because we're standing there like,
we're a long way from home.
And that's an awesome sculpture.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, speaking of awesome sculptures, the one that I think's better.
Yeah, on we went to Crazy Horse.
Crazy Horse. Now,
it wasn't so much Crazy Horse or his actions, you know. The sculpture is designed, it's him pointing out, riding the horse, going, my land is where my
people lie buried.
Right. Okay, cool.
The Crazy Horse has a better story. There's a history. There's the Lakota people. There's Crazy Horse got stabbed in the back for not signing a treaty. There's a lot more content at Crazy Horse.
Than at Mount Rushmore, like.
But the hero.
Yeah, it's not Crazy Horse. No.
Our hero. We both got a new hero, and his name is Koziak, and he's a Polish-American immigrant who worked as an assistant at Rushmore, and then took it upon himself after being asked by a Lakota elder to build a monument for the Lakota people, and he sculpted a scale model of Crazy Horse, and then he went and found the right mountain to do it on, and he bought a Brutus old gas-powered generator.
Yeah, it was definitely gas or had spark plugs.
To run an air hammer, and he started hand chiseling on the scale of millions of tons of granite.
Okay, for a perspective of scale, the 4 guys on Mount Rushmore, what is it, Washington, Lincoln, Roosevelt, and some other guy. I'm sorry.
Washington, Lincoln, Roosevelt, and Carter. No, Carter's too. Whatever.
Anyways, those guys, all 4 of them, at Washington at 60 feet high, they'll all fit inside Crazy Horse, the sculpture's head, with a little bit of hair, and Crazy Horse's head itself is 80 feet high. Or, sorry, 82 feet high, yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, Koziak moved out to the Black Hills and started carving away on the rock with hand chisels and air chisels. And then eventually dynamite. He took up a wife somehow, had 10 kids. Seven of those kids are still at the Crazy Horse Monument building this thing. They've never once accepted money from the federal government or the state government.
They turned down $10 million.
They turned $10 million down twice. They admit the fact that they could blast quicker, faster, they could be farther along in the scale of the project, but they will not accept a handout from a government agency because Kojak believes so strongly in free enterprise and hard work and initiative.
Dude, like,
and I can't think of anything.
Kojak, okay, like as some like what is it, Paul Bundy sort of character, or like an old country song, something Big Bad John. He held the mountain up so the guys could escape. Well, I never seen a picture of either of these two, but I imagine if they were both put together, they'd look something like this Kojak guy. There's pictures and video of him drilling into the mountain to put the dynamite charges in, and he's leaning into the air hammer, whatever you want to call it, just full in, right? Then they show the modern pictures of the modern drilling, and they got these rigs set up where they crank and use pulleys and stuff to pull the drill in. Yeah. Like, this guy's arms were, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got this old gas generator.
GHB back then.
No. He's got an old gas generator, and he ran, thousands of feet of air cable to run his air hammer up the mountain, and there's 274 stairs or something. And he would fire up his generator with a hand crank because it didn't have electricity or anything. And then he'd walk up the stairs carrying the bits for the air hammer, line, food, and whatever other accessories. And he'd get like 200 or 250 stairs up or 300 steps up. And then the generator would sputter at it. And he'd have to put down his tools, walk all the way back down the mountain, crank the generator back over, walk all the way back up again, fire up his air hammer, start chiseling, and the generator would go kaput. He said one day he did it 9 times, and he phrased it as that gets old really fast. But anyways, this big, hard, bearded, cigar smoking.
Oh, they showed him before and after pictures too. Like before he was clean shaven, he was in the army or whatever the case was, and
yeah, he had a mustache and he had his army hat on and a tight uniform and everything.
And then he turned out like something like Matt, except a little more gray and a little more
older, grayer, stronger, and harder. This man, Kojak, he's probably one of the most peaceful people you could ever meet, but I would shudder the thought of anyone that would pick a fight with him. He's a strong, hard man. Anyways, so we have a new hero, and his name's Kojak. That leaves Crazy Horse. Then we went to Custer, which is obviously named after Custer, the guy who caused all the problems for the Lakota people. But it's a neat little town. Stopped in on an antler and hide and skinning and taxidermy type of place. Saw some jackalopes, saw some beautiful elk mounts. I've never seen just buckets and laundry baskets and boxes of antlers.
Not even aircrafts had that sort of...
No, aircrafts back home doesn't even have the scale of the amount of antler that trophy season around these parts just must be crazy. Yep, and then we went to Jewel Cave and paid...
I think the 3-hour hike was the highlight there. Down in the cave was a little bit of a bust. Sorry, it wasn't a 3-hour hike. It was supposed to be...
3.5 miles that we banged out in an hour and 10 minutes. We asked the girl at the cave how long it takes most people. She said a couple hours. We said, okay, we'll be back in time for the cave tour. We got back, popped our heads back inside, said, what time is it? She said, you still have an hour and a half until the cave tour. We thought, oh, okay, maybe we should have Anyhow.
We'll just do this video day 2. Or this one's just going to be yesterday, and then we'll do a separate one for today and make it quick because of the time.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome road.
Yeah. So after we left Jewel Cave, we decided to pick we got in the truck
different route back.
Got in the truck and said, okay, find a different road back to Rapid City. Chris looked at the map, found a road. It was called 16A or something like that. Turned out to be called Iron Mountain Road. And please, all of you, watch the other video that we'll be uploading with the driving. There's a section in there where you start to see our vehicle route switch back on itself.
They gotta film it.
Double back on itself. At one point in time, they had figured out a way to... my hat goes off to the engineers who built this road, because at times they tunnel through the road, build a bridge, you double back on yourself, and then go under where you just came from. Kind of like a clover leaf. All the while, it's to gain advantage over altitude.
Your front left's out in the other lane, and your back right's
on the shoulder. In the truck, yeah.
Yeah.
I would not want to try to do this in like a 2500 diesel long box Super Duty.
Yeah, I'll bet you can't do that.
I wouldn't even want to try and do it in a land yacht from the 70s. I wouldn't want to try and do it in a Cadillac. It's you know.
Well, come on, the old Lincoln Town Car would slide around easy enough.
Maybe. Absolutely beautiful road for a lightweight Japanese motorcycle, like a 600cc. Anyways, watch the other video.
Yeah.
I've never been on a road where you can go through tunnels and then double back on yourself and like do switchbacks to gain altitude or lose altitude, and the turning radius of the truck, like never having to quite hit opposite lock with the wheel, but knowing that one side of your tires is on the yellow line and the other side of the tires is on the shoulder. And still snowy and slushy and not very well upkept, and enough moisture and water on the road to make it interesting.
You're going upwards like this the whole time too.
Yeah.
And then back to Rapid City, and oh yeah, I guess the last thing would be dinner. We found a good place we like. It's a pretty interesting place, but anyways, what was it? We just got the same steak last night. Was it
Arkansas ass kicker. It's a peppered and spiced and garlicked steak. It was absolutely delicious. With a name like Arkansas ass kicker, you're expecting it to be fiery hot, but you know.
It was very tasteful.
It's very tasteful. And it didn't kick our asses.
Anyways, that's this one, and we'll be right back with the next one from today.